Hi, my name is Jasmine, and I will be discussing in this video the neurological and endocrine pathways associated with breastfeeding. So, there are two ways to signal the mother's body to produce milk. The first way is when the mother sits down to breastfeed or begin to breastfeed, she latches her baby. And when the baby is latched, the baby begins to suckle. The suckling from the baby activates the mechanoreceptors. And the mechanoreceptors from the mother's mammary gland are sent through the spinal cord to the hypothalamus located in the brain. And this will be referenced as the afferent pathway, meaning going toward the spinal cord, going to the hypothalamus. Once the hypothalamus receives the message from the mechanoreceptors, the hypothalamus will do two things. One of the things that the hypothalamus will do is send a message or a signal to the oxytocin neurons. And the oxytocin neurons, which are located posterior pituitary, once the oxytocin neurons receive the signal to produce oxytocin, the oxytocin will be released, and it will be released to the myoepithelial cells, which are located in the mammary glands, which are located in the mother's breast, which look kind of broccoli like the shape. Once the oxytocin neurons release the oxytocin to the myoepithelial cells, then the myoepithelial cells are signaled to contract. By contracting, this allows for the mother to be able to eject the milk once it's produced or have a milk letdown, which allows for the baby to receive the milk. Then the next thing that the hypothalamus does in order to produce the milk is send a message to the prolactin inhibitory neurons, which is located anterior pituitary. Once the once the prolactin inhibitory neurons receive the signal from the hypothalamus, this will begin the process of lactogenesis by turning. It'll send an off signal to for all the other neurons to stop producing prolactin and allow for the prolactin inhibitory center to produce prolactin. Once the prolactin is produced, it is then released to the mammary glands, and then the mammary glands begin to produce milk. And the messaging coming away from the hypothalamus or the prolactin inhibitory neurons is the efferent pathway. So moving away from. So that is the first way. The second way for a mother to signal the mother's body to produce milk is auditorily. So when the mother's baby, or actually any baby that a breastfeeding mother hears crying, that will automatically send a signal auditorily to the higher senses, and the higher senses will signal the hypothalamus to begin the process of signaling the oxytocin neurons to produce milk. Oh, I'm sorry, signal the oxytocin neurons to produce oxytocin and have them released to the myoepithelial cells that will begin to contract. And again, that is called afferent pathway. And the And then again, the hypothalamus will send a message to the prolactin inhibitory neurons that will release prolactin and begin the lactogenesis process. And again, that coming away um, would be the efferent pathway, and going to would be the efferent pathway. Hopefully that was a good explanation and you are able to explain the two different pathways and how they work neurologically and endocrinely within the body to produce milk. Thank you.